Greetings everyone, this is Dr. Jason Freeman. I'd like to welcome y'all to my channel. In this video I reviewed the film Bob Marley One Love, directed by Reinaldo Marcus Green and starring Kingsley Ben-Adir and Lashana Lynch. I say what I like about the film, I say what I don't really like about the film, then I tell you why I think you should see the film or just skip it. So let's get to it. The first thing I like about the film is the chemistry between Lashana Lynch and Kingsley Ben-Adir, who play Rita Marley and Bob Marley respectively. The film chooses to spend a good amount of time looking at their relationship as a married couple. We even also see when they're younger, so you have these younger actors who are portraying them. And so we get to see the relationship as it evolves from two young people into their marriage as Bob Marley becomes kind of this bigger figure and kind of even towards the end of his life. There's what looks like genuine love between the couple. There are conflicts. Also because they do have a family, so we get to see the family dynamic. We also get to see again the dynamic of Bob Marley and Rita Marley kind of being performers. So Rita Marley was one of the background singers that you see in various when you see concerts for Bob Marley. And so the pressures of being these kind of showbiz people in this world that isn't necessarily so family oriented. So this brings me to the second thing that I loved about the film, which were the amazing performances by Kingsley Ben-Adir as Bob Marley and Lashana Lynch as Rita Marley. The film is really anchored by their performances, so Kingsley Ben-Adir has the mannerisms, has the voice. I believe he does some of the singing. I can look that up, but he does have, like, if that's his actual voice, he has the voice to be Bob Marley. And Rita Marley, same thing, voice, the mannerisms and everything. Again, you can see her on video, but also the passion you get from Rita when she's angry, you get that passion, and even when he's angry, you get the kind of you see the intensity in his eyes, but you also get kind of like, based on kind of his personality, he's not like a really angry, loud, boisterous person. He has that kind of gentle soul, though he can be fierce when he has to be. And in the film, it's very much shown that he is a faithful Rastafarian. So they go into the religion. They have a Rastafarian priest come in who also does a great performance. I don't know if he's an authentic priest or if that's an actor. I'm assuming maybe authentic, and he's just kind of coming in the movie to kind of give that authentic kind of Rastafarian perspective. But there wasn't any point where I felt like Kingsley Ben-Adir was not presenting what I felt, again, based on my own kind of knowledge about Bob Marley and what I've seen over the years with videos of him, an authentic representation of that man. He also very much is kind of a respectful representation, which I know also comes from the family as well. So if you're a Bob Marley fan and you see the film, you're not going to be angered or disappointed by this presentation. And so the third thing I like about the film, or really loved about the film, was the music. Now, whenever you make a film like this, you make some very important choices. So you could have a film that's more about his life and with the music kind of to the side, or you can have the music kind of center stage and then have his life in between. And so the latter was the choice that was made for this film. For example, his Exodus album, we see the creation of that album. We see the creation of various songs on the album, kind of where they came from. And so that is a core part of the film. And a lot of the film, especially when they're in London, deals with that process. So what didn't I like about the film? Well, the only thing that I really didn't like about the film was the pacing. So you're trying to cram a lot of life into one, I think it was hour-and-a-half film, and they put a lot in there, but I don't think it really works in that way because you go through stuff really fast. So when they're making the Exodus album, it kind of goes boop, beat, 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 and then you're on to the next thing. You don't really have time to really get some more of the behind the scenes aspects of it. And so it goes by really fast. You get some of his childhood, but again, it's really quick. And you get towards the end of his life, he passed away in 1981, a couple months before I was born. But again, that whole, the sickness and all that stuff, the cancer, that is kind of glossed through really fast as well. And so what I would say is that this film would have been better as a limited series, only because instead of having an hour and a half, if there was like 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. You can go into more detail about certain things. You could spend a while on his childhood, which would have been interesting. You can see his early career when he starts out with the Wailers. You could see him in London and his experiences there. And you could even spend a good amount of time on the end of his life and all the stuff he did there. Instead, they had a lot of kind of, again, quick cuts. You had a lot of exposition, like even like stuff written on the screen that covers some of the stuff that would have been better on screen in a much longer format like a limited series. So should you see this film or just skip it? I would say to see this film. If you are a Bob Marley fan, if you want to learn more about his life, see this film. However, I wouldn't say this is a must-see film in that I think that if they later do at some point do an extended series, if it's done well, I think that's the better way to go, because I think you cram too much into an hour and a half and there's so much you just don't get a feel for. You know, there's his family in America, and his family goes to America, so you could spend more time about the Marleys' experience with maybe racism in America. Again, UK, he is a Rastafarian in UK, so maybe some of his feelings, maybe, I don't know if there are challenges to his religion when he's living in that setting that very much is counter to what his teachings are. If you found the review interesting and or informative, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, please share this video. And if there are other film biopics you want me to talk about on this channel, please leave those suggestions in the comment section below. Thank you all for your time and have a wonderful rest of your day.